You intentionally
offensive.
trying to jab, being
Right,
negative. Let me get on my
right,
tiptoes and turn this thing out.
right.
But yeah, man.
And this is different, because people we use cop outs too,
Very
like,
true. Excuses.
oh man, you too sensitive or something. No, it's not even that all the time. Sometimes it may, it's factors involved. You might not even know me like that. That's one. And another thing is that if I say something that's a sensitive thing to you, because all of us have it.
Right.
All of us have it. I heard Jay-Z say in the song, "Don't be jealous because that's a female trait." I say, man, that's a lie. That's a human trait.
Mm-hmm.
He said it's a female. See how you tied in? So here, somebody say, "Oh man, oh man, you in touch with your feminine side,
Yeah.
or you acting soft."
Yeah.
As if hard is the underlying idea. We both got masculine and feminine qualities in it because we come from a man and a woman. And soft and feminine don't mean, female all the time. It's just a softer,
not at all.
pronunciation of a word and things. But anyway, getting back to what you were saying, and people, we corrupt the language too. Remember, I talked about this before. Words form people. Yeah. But if I know it's a sensitive subject for you, or it may be some trauma you experience with some things, and you might not want to talk about that. It's, all of us have something that maybe I don't want to go there. We say that. Don't go there with me. So if I know I say something that's making bother Sheldon, why would I say that to him? And say I'm just playing, right? And
there's
people do this all the time, man.
But there's a saying.
But if me and Sheldon can join in on the joke, that's all good,
Yeah.
I'm not a real sensitive person like that, but sometimes we play too much, bro. And we play too much and we don't hold things sacred anymore. We don't hold, a lot of times we don't hold marriage, we're attacking our family on Facebook, social media. You know what I mean? You're attacking your face, you're attacking your family. That's your blood. Yeah, y'all have disagreements, but
handle
it's
that though. Handle that though. I mean, it ain't for social media. That's not what that's for though. You have to handle that, and internally as an individual, one-on-one.
Right.
Go to each other, look eye to eye. Have that conversation. I think nowadays, man, so much stuff is impersonal, and I think that's why forgiveness and negativity sometimes can be misunderstood because there's not a lot of the eye to eye. There's not a lot of that face-to-face stuff. It's either email, text, Facebook, you know what I mean? Twitter, Instagram. Right. It's not like this is how I feel, and I can tell you can tell how a person feel by looking them straight in the eye. Having that that true just understanding. Okay, now we can get past that. I think that's why so many people, man, are harboring so much unforgiveness and hate and negativity because they never really cleared it face to face.
And then what's your issue? Okay, sometimes we mad at each other. We don't even know why.
You know why though?
What's your issue?
Because if you, again, I say this before, if you do not know who you are, and you do not know your why, you will be upset too, man. You would be angry too.
Sense. You're right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't know who you are. You don't know your purpose. You don't know why you get up and do anything that you do any day. Yeah, you're going to be topsy-turvy, ups and down, moody, because you're not locked into anything. Right.
And I agree with you, bro. That's a great point.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, this forgiveness, and forgiveness, and then the other 10 days is mercy, because it's kind of linked together. I remember, people talking about going to court. Even when you commit a wrong or crime, you say you want mercy. You throwing your mercy on the court.
Throw your mercy on the court.
You don't want justice.
I'm at the mercy of the court.
You really get justice. We ain't go. The justice could be real wild, right? Some of the stuff we done did or acted along with people, but we want mercy. So, first of all, you need to give mercy if you want to get it. So that's how I tend to look at life. And like you say, it's really for yourself because again, me and you was just talking about the heart. Man, when you start, harboring these things, cause see at first, it's in your nature, bro, for your conscience to be pricked with things, right?
True.
Man, that bothers me. I walk by and see somebody, I see these, these babies hungry. I see this, this woman who's impregnated, you know what I mean? And she's walking in this hot weather. Whether you act upon it or not, now we should act upon it. But even if you don't do that, that should do something to you. You know what I mean?
Consciousness, yeah.
You know what I mean? It should prick your conscience. So, man, one thing about it, it's just like smoking a cigarette. When you first hit that cigarette, your body rejects it because it wasn't naturally. It ain't supposed to be in there. And it's not attacking anybody who's smoking anything. It's just using this as an example. But if you keep on smoking, you conform to it. You know what I mean? Your body conforms to it. So it's the same way with you as a human being. When you first, if you stick to your humanity, you're going to be merciful. You ain't going to be tripping. And one isolated incident don't define me and Sheldon's relationship. Just because we see eye to eye tonight, well, I'm going to still go to bed and be mad over something. And most of the time, it be minute, bro. It be not minute. But we wonder why we have all these heart problems, bro. These heart troubles.
Stress.
What is going on in your heart?
Unforgiveness, man, and stress. Because again, man, we haven't looked in the mirror and said, "Who am I?" We blame everyone else. We point the fingers, instead of looking at those three right back at us. And so it's easy to harbor that unforgiveness. Well, they did that to me. Well, they said that to me. Well, they acted that way to me. And so you'll feel justified, right, in your actions, and you're talking yourself into. Hey, man, I wasn't tripping. They were tripping. And so, until they come to me, then, they the one tripping. But then you harbor that, and you put that negativity out there again, that negative energy, man. You put that red towel in them whites, in them white clothes. Everything finna be pink now. Everything's going to be ruined.
Bro, exactly like you said. And I'm talking about relationships, even with your spouse. Even if you and your spouse, if y'all have a falling out, and even if y'all go so far as to separate, and the love is really true, when y'all see each other, right? Because that's when they say abstinence makes the heart fonder.
Yeah.
Right? So when you see each other, you forget all about that. If y'all truly love each other, oh, baby, I miss you too, baby. That's how y'all talk. And it might be some tears, some hugs, tighter. You know what I'm saying? Because why? Because that heart is going to let you know. You know what I'm saying? It's going to tell you. And when I talk about the heart, I'm not just speaking about feelings. I'm speaking about thinking, too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So your heart is going to let you know. So once you go through that phase like that, that's how you know that what's really true and what's really real. Let's stop tripping. Because then we dying, bro. See, you never know when is the last time you might speak to this person.
Yes,
man, Shelton, I can't begin to explain to you, and I would never blast their names or anything. But I don't have a lot of family falling down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they talk to me about it, and I don't take sides. I try to speak the truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way that will bring them back together. And sometimes I use my grandmother as the focal point. What would y'all think, our grandma would feel about this? They get their attention, right?
Exactly.
But,
use what works. Use what works.
Yeah, man. And man, when I sit back and think, and I'll be like, man, look at the family breakdown. And man, that's what's happening, bro.
Well, that's what the enemy attacks, though, man. Think about that.
There you go. There you go.
I can't. What you don't care about doesn't bother you, bruh.
Right.
What do you care about? Your family, your loved ones, your spouse, your children.
Right.
When those things and those individuals come under attack, that'll get your attention. Right. And so when you have these issues and these falling out and stuff, again, it makes you be one way or the other. So now you're just topsy-turvy. You're double-minded. You don't know how to act or what to be because, as we said earlier, you can't get away from these people. Right? So now you harboring this animosity. Every time you see him, you get mad all over again. You get angry all over again. Otherwise, it was a good day.
Right. And then, another thing too, bro. what I've learned too, there's nothing wrong with saying you're sorry and apologizing. Man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. Or even if you did mean to offend the person, apologize. That takes away a lot. And see, that makes you a big person. That don't make you less than. But for some strange reason, we think that apologizing makes us less than.
Because wide is that path to destruction, man. That's why.
There you go.
That's why. For some reason, that is the reason. Narrow is that path. It's like I said, the narrow. It's narrow.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Mr. Breeze were talking about that yesterday. Narrow is that path. So you're not going to find a lot of people on it. You're not going to find a lot of people, pouring into their family as they're pouring their problems into you, and they're able to come to you. Why do they come to you? What about you makes you so special?
Right.
You know what I mean? That they come to you, so you looking and seeing that. But at the same time, though, those that are always giving, who deposits back into them?
Right. And that's that's another thing as well about because where we get our strength from, and I draw my strength from different people and different things, and I try to stay positive, bro, because like you said now, because it's really for yourself. See, while you sitting up, this other person may not even be thinking about you. You know what I mean? Or might not even be thinking that deep on the subject as you may.
Then you got your mind. Yeah, you got your mind to go wherever you tell it. See, the conscious is just speaking on what the subconscious done told it for so long.
Right. And you holding on to something that happened 10 years ago. I mean, seriously, bro.
Yeah. That's what happens, though, man. That's what
happens,
though, man.
We got talk shows, bro.
Drama.
I know you done seen it. People ain't spoke in 20 years. Blood brother and sister who done slept in the same Big Mama house. Yeah, bro, that's a problem.
That's
you know
a
what I'm
huge
saying?
problem.
Something's wrong with the human heart. So we got and the crazy part, we got all these doctors and all these different things, and you still can't fix it. But I'll say this. I truly believe this. And like I say, this ain't got nothing to do, this is whatever religion you practice. But I believe, talk to God about this.
Yes, sir.
See, because God don't tell you business. You can go to him about anything. You know what I mean? You got your own relationship with him. You ain't got to confess to nobody else. Whatever you've done, you ain't got to confess to no man what you've done, because we can't forgive sins anyway.
See, God know what the end going to be before there is an end. Can you
Exactly. So I know God, my prayer, that's why I pray, whatever fault I have done, because sometimes even, me and you could have an argument, and I'm just using you as a focal point, but not me and you specifically, because you know how we rock. But just say me and you, or, you offend me. I might not want to ever forgive you.
Well, I remember that time we had the argument, though. You remember you said your hair was better than mine, but it was all good, though.
Real talk, that's how we do it, right?
I got more waves than you, so what?
Yeah, you might offend me, or I might offend you. Yeah. And I might go to you and apologize and say, hey, you know what I mean? Sheldon, man.
My fault, my bad.
You need to leave that alone. But you might say, man, I ain't trying to hear what you're saying. It's people like that. So what I'm supposed to do, that's why I say with God, because I have said my piece. I did my best to try to make amends. So I'm going to leave it up in the hands of God. You know what I mean? I can't force you to accept my apology, so that's on you. But I know I did my part.
Exactly.
And see, that's how I look at life, Sheldon. If I do my part, I do my part and I got to make things right. You know what I mean? I got to make things right. Like you said, for who? For myself.
For yourself.
Because I'm going to have to, eventually, I'm going to have a talk. That's just like me and you. We cool. I'm bringing my daughter over there to play with your kid. You know what I mean? Your kid, my kid's age. We chopping up, mingling. And then me and you fall out. So you don't think she going to say, why we can't go to Mr. Sheldon's house no more, Daddy?
You got to come up with an excuse.
So now I'm either lie to her, I'm going to tell her the truth, I'm going to come up with an excuse, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And see, now you are breaking that bond.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And what you are doing is teaching your child, right? We're teaching our child, this is how you deal, going back to what you said.
Conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution. So that's how I'm teaching my child. This is how I handle this. Instead of teaching my child, some people, they may fall out or whatever, but we still love each other. Have some real talk. But it's crazy, man, and I don't put too much